Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and this is a session of Talk with ECM. And today we're talking about Roadmap to Success. I have some students here, some learners who've just gone through the course. This is day 5 of their course, and we're going to talk about it. Talk about how the course went, what they learned, what their experience was like. But before we do that, just a few tiny details. One is my 10 seconds rule. I really want everyone to have the chance to speak. And sometimes we get passionate about our speaking. So if you're very passionate and have a lot to say, you might see this sign. And this means please finish your sentence. And then we want to give someone else a chance to speak. So nothing personal, just want to be fair. Great. So again, we're talking about Roadmap to Success, and this is day 5 of the Roadmap to Success. So it's a 5-day course. Let's begin, before I tell you about the course, let's begin by introducing ourselves. So I would like you each to introduce yourself. Please tell us your name, your country, and that can be where you live, where you're from, where you want to be. And then tell me your final sentence, your final key idea, your roadmap to success. Let's begin with Rochelle. Rochelle, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, and I'm Rochelle. I'm from Philippines, and my roadmap to success is simple: just to be an effective English communicator, focusing more on for me to understand and to be understood in English. Thank you.
Great. And Rochelle, I remember you wrote some really interesting comments in the comment fields on each day. Maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. But for now, let's hear from Andrew. Andrew, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I'm from Russia, from St. Petersburg. And my roadmap to success is to be understood as an software developer. I'd like to have a job in an English environment.
Excellent. And you wrote some really great comments this past week too, I remember. So thank you for that. And thanks for saying your city. That's important, especially when it's such a nice city like St. Petersburg. So I have some questions for you today, and let's begin with Andrew. Andrew, as I understand, this is your first time taking the course, and I'm curious, what did you learn?
I read about all these helpful techniques, about how to overcome my shyness and how to gain my confidence. And it was really useful, and I'm inspired by your own example with this Taiwanese language and this course that you should have done. And you did it, actually. It was great. I learned a lot of techniques.
That's great. And I do remember you commenting about your experience with shyness in the past and how you're already working to overcome that. But it sounds like from the course you got some extra techniques and extra help. So that's great to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Rochelle, what did you learn?
Hello everyone. Well, actually this is my third time joining or participating in Elizabeth's session, Roadmap to Success. And I'm continuously joining whenever Elizabeth opened this course, because I'm learning to first create a goal for my English speaking improvement. Then eventually, after a month, I can evaluate if those goals, those detailed plans, those roadmap of mine is effective way in achieving my goal. So if not, I'm revising it and I'm looking to other approach so that I can to move, reach my goal. And thank you.
Yeah, that's a great statement. And that's something I noticed as you were working through the course this week. You you have already taken the course, so I already know some of your history, but I see that you're reflecting on that and you're changing it. So creating a roadmap to success, it's not a point of success or a point in time, but the roadmap or the path to success. So as you're taking steps, you're reassessing and reflecting. Is it working? Is it not working? What can I do to make it better? And that's really exciting to see. So thank you for sharing that. So I want to talk, let's get in a little bit deeper. Each day there were action steps. There was a little bit of reading and then some action steps each day. My question is, which action step did you find most helpful for you? Let's begin with Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle. Can you tell us which action step was most helpful for you?
Yeah, sorry, can I skip a bit because I just wanted to refresh because my internet connection is getting weaker. I just wanted
Okay.
to refresh a bit.
Okay, so we'll come
Yeah.
back in a moment. So we'll talk with Andrew then. Andrew, which
Yes,
Thank you.
action step was most helpful for you?
I think it was a day when we talk about our what is around us and what is it is inside us and about our strengths. It was really helpful because it means a lot of reflecting of our past and our present, and we also should um, talk about in every details about our strengths, and this is really important. It's vital to success to use your strengths to overcome your weaknesses.
To overcome your, I didn't hear that.
Weaknesses. I mean to work on how to turn our weaknesses into our strengths.
Yes, your weaknesses. Yes. Now the connection was clear. Thank you. So yeah, that was day 2 when we talked about our strengths, and you described it very clearly. We talked about what's inside us, what's around us. And between you and me, often when I'm thinking about, oh, I need to do this, I want to do that, I'm thinking about the future. And I'm thinking about, I want it to be this way in the future. But sometimes we forget, what do we already have that can help us get there? And so that was a bit of the goal of that day. And it sounds like that was very helpful for you. So I'm really glad to hear that. That's great. Since Rochelle has skipped out, she has to refresh her computer or her internet connection. So I'll ask you the next question. Which action step did you find most challenging?
I think it was about our weaknesses, about what holding us back, because it's always hurtful to remember about um, what negative sides of you can limit your ability to learn a language, to learn basically everything, and you don't enjoy to remember about it.
No.
This side of your of yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I think most of us would prefer to forget our weaknesses and ignore the things that are holding us back. But that's why they hold us back, because we don't want to think about them and talk about them. So I agree with you. I think that is a very challenging day. And that was day 3, roadblocks. So for you, day 2 was a really great, helpful day. And day 3 was a little bit more challenging. So good to hear that. Let's ask Rochelle. Andrew, can you remember one of the questions and ask Rochelle? If you don't remember, it's okay. I can help remind you.
What question?
About the action steps. You can either ask which one was most helpful or which one was
Um,
most challenging. Please.
okay. Uh, which one of the action steps was the most challenging for you, Rochelle?
Hello, Andrew. Thank you for your question. I'm sorry I have to leave earlier. I have to left then because I want to refresh. My internet was very weak. But anyway, for me, the most interesting part or the question that I really like the most is the question number two, about the strength. I think Andrew also told us that he also loved the question number two, the strength. Because here we can reflect what we have inside us and what we have around us and what we can do with all those options to to really into our roadmap to success. Thank you.
Great answer. I really liked hearing that. And I agree with you. It's I find it helpful to not do it once, but as you did it multiple times. And maybe as you did it the second or third time, did you think or
Hello.
realize new things? Did you find new strengths, Rochelle, over time? Well, let's see. Rochelle wrote a text, "Can you hear me?" And it looks, according to my computer, that your microphone is on mute. I could hear you before, but now it's on mute. Ah, it's delayed. Okay. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. Well, I wanted to ask you these questions. So one is, what did you learn? Which action step did you find most helpful? Which action step did you find most challenging? And it sounds like you both found day 2 very helpful. We didn't hear from Rochelle which one she found most challenging, but it seems there's some technical difficulties. So I'm not sure how to manage that. I have, let's see, another question for you. So we're talking about action steps, and I gave action steps each day for you to do, think about, and process. And now it's the 5th day, and so we're having the live session. But what about tomorrow? What about next week? What is your next action step? I'll ask Andrew first.
Oh, I'm doing my English course in the weekends, so tomorrow and on Sunday I'll be there, and I'll spend 4 hours each of this day at the weekend speaking English. So and so I'll do this next week as well as now, and I'm doing my own study at the same time. I spent a couple of hours doing exercises and just enjoying English, reading a book, reading books and watching a series. Now I'm reading Harry Potter 5th part and watching House of Cards.
So that's great. It sounds like you have a very full schedule of improving, practicing, and using your English. You're in English classes and you do your own self-study. That's great. So I'm curious, since it sounds like you have this from the past, how will this course, Roadmap to Success, help you as you continue on your path? How will the things you learned, how will you use them?
But your suggestion about creating a real physical roadmap is really helpful because I could put it on my desk and look at this every day and imagine myself already talking in English with confidence and getting a job already and moving to a foreign country, and it will help a lot because I never tried to do something like this, something similar before. Never tried to imagine some clear goals and to work on using my own strengths and trying to overcome my weaknesses.
Excellent. Excellent. That sounds really good. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it's helpful, and I'm glad to hear how you're inspired and more confident about improving your English. That's so wonderful to hear. It makes me so happy. Unfortunately, Rochelle seems to have a lot of internet connections. Let's see. It looks like she's coming back. I hope. I'll cross my fingers for good luck. Rochelle, welcome back. I see there's some difficulty with the internet. I hope you can stay this time. And I have a question for you, Rochelle.
Yes.
I can hear you and you sound great. So some questions that we talked about already
Yes.
is, which action step did you find most challenging?
For me, the most challenging step is the roadblocks, because sometimes it's hard to admit that you have flaws, and sometimes you can't find or you can think of things how to prevent it. And on my end, I focus on on myself rather than the technical aspect of like English grammar and everything. More of my anxiety and hello.
Yep, that sounds great. And actually, it sounds like
So
you
I
and
just
Andrew had similar experiences. So you found number 2, strengths, very helpful. And number 3, day 3, challenges and roadblocks, the most challenging. Good. And Rochelle also talked about how she tries to focus on herself rather than on the challenges that she faces with the English language itself, which is a really good point because we can't change English grammar, we can't change English rules. That's the way it is. But we can change ourselves. It's not easy. It's not easy at all if you've ever tried to change a habit or change the way you eat or even trying to wake up earlier in the morning. It's not easy, but it is something we can slowly work towards. That's great. So, yeah, working on ourselves and change. It's great. So, Rochelle, one question I asked Andrew was, I gave action steps each day in this course, different action steps each day. And now today's the 5th day, so the course is over. My question for you is, what is your next action step?
yeah.
Yes.
For me, I will continue practicing with hello.
Yep, I hear you just
Yes,
fine.
I will continuously practice English. Yeah, but it's delay in my end, so I find it really weird. Anyway, I will continuously practice English with other learners if I can find speaking partner, which is really hard on my end because of my time zone. I'm trying to create other things like recording my voice, singing, as because I've learned before that singing is one of the way you can improve your pronunciation and enunciation. Then I'm also creating an FB group. I an FB group that is my aim is to create a support group for people who like me finding a hard time to find a speaking partner. And I that's just an experiment, but I don't know if that will be successful. But I'm willing to take the chance.
That's great. And I remember that's an excellent answer. And I remember from your previous times through the course, you had a clear plan of action steps and goals you wanted to do about posting each day and creating groups. And so it sounds to me like you've changed it a bit, but you're continuing on your path. So I'm really glad to hear that. So we have a few minutes left, and I want to open it up for the two of you. Do you have questions for me? Any questions for me?
Yes, I have a questions. How we should work on improving our pronunciation? Because in my native English, we aren't with vowels and with just sounds of like we have in English, and it's the most challengeable for me.
This is a great question. How to improve the pronunciation? And just really quickly, I can give you some ideas of things that have worked for people in the past. And also I've used myself when learning another language. And the first, I think, for me, the first thing that helps me is learning how to hear the difference. If I'm speaking with other foreigners and I hear, for example, if you live in St. Petersburg and you speak English with other people in St. Petersburg, maybe you all have a similar accent and you can't hear the difference. So you already mentioned that you're watching television series or listening to audio recordings. So exposing your ear to the sound, that's a great first step. A great second step that I would challenge you to do is to take a short audio recording, 1, 2, even 3 sentences. So very, very short, not 10 minutes, not 1 hour, a very short audio recording. Listen to it clearly, and then record yourself saying the exact same thing. Listen to your recording and compare it. What's the same? What's different? In this way, once you train your ear to hear the difference, then you can start to train your mouth to create the difference. It's a process that I think can be uncomfortable at times. I think many people feel uncomfortable recording and listening to ourselves. But that's a great second step. Another thing you can do is, we're recording the session. In a few days, I'll send you the link and you can watch it and listen again. Listen to yourself speaking. See what you think. Pretend you're a teacher. What do you think about the pronunciation? That can be challenging too. I think it's very challenging to test ourselves, but it's a fun challenge. But I would say the first is train your ear by listening to a lot of English in the exact accent you want to accomplish in your goal. And 2, then try and copy with your own voice and record it. Rochelle, do you have a question for me? Either about the course or something else?
Yes. Do you have any plans of opening the course again in the future?
Yes, I do. Actually, I already set up the one for April. So it's opening again in April. So you can sign up again and encourage others to sign up if you find it helpful. So I will open the course in April, and the website, if you want to sign up, I don't have it, but it's on my website, which is here, talkwithecm.com. And then it's 1 week course, /1 week course. So 7 top tips. That's signing up for my newsletter. But if you sign up for my newsletter, I'll also send a notification when registration is about to close or when it's a good time to sign up. But you can already sign up now. So that's a great question. Good, we have just a few minutes left. So now I want to open it up for both of you to offer any closing words. Is there anything you'd like to say to close this session? Let's begin with Rochelle. Rochelle, do you have any closing words for us? Anything you'd like to say before we end the session?
Yes, of course. I want to thank you for creating the session, this course, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the opening again in April. And I do hope that the next time that you're gonna conduct the live session, my internet is okay because right now I'm really terrified because I can't hear you. The video is freezing. I can't hear Andrew. So yeah, it affects how I I answer your question because I'm thinking of how can I understand Miss Elizabeth. But right now I'm very thankful and I'm also saying hi to Andrew. And I hope to see you and hear you soon if we have a chance to talk and be a speaking partner. Why not? And thank you.
Great, thank you, Rochelle. And I'm really glad you've been persistent and tried to stay with us, even though you're having a lot of technical difficulties. So if English isn't difficult enough, technical difficulties can make it worse. But thank you for sticking with us and making it through. Andrew, do you have any closing minutes or closing words for us?
Yes, I also wanted to thank you, Elizabeth, for all your work that you have done for this course and for working with us. And it can be difficult and even daunting, but you did it, and you did it perfectly. And I really enjoyed being among our learners, among our people from the other side of the world, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you both for those very kind words. It's really helpful for me to hear that feedback and hear that you appreciate it. Andrew pointed out something that's very important to me, and that's that the people in this course do come from many different nations around the world, which is something I appreciate and really enjoy as well. So a few closing words from me. Thank you again to all the people who took the course, and especially to Andrew and Rochelle for joining me here today for the live session. It's been wonderful, and I really appreciate hearing about your experience and your feedback. For those of you who are interested in taking the course, sign up. The next course, as Rochelle pointed out or asked me, is in April. So I hope to see you all in April. Again, my name is Elizabeth. I'm from Talk with ECM, and today we talked about the roadmap to success and how to create your own roadmap.